my good friend Obasi Scott. Bossy, we've known each other for like, I don't know, 25 years. That
Right.
we've been in college back in the day. We're doing art, doing marketing. Uh, Man, so good to have you on the channel today. Welcome.
Yes, man. Thank you. I think it's going to be a great collaboration.
All right. So today we are talking about local businesses and how they can tap into the power of YouTube. And so we got some questions lined up for you guys today, and I'm gonna try to get the channel comments open here in a second. So anyway, where did my there we go. Here's a question. So we're talking about local businesses and how they can use YouTube, and why it works for local businesses. And the very first thing I always think about is the branding. So Bossy, can you just talk to us about how important is just local branding?
Well, I think that one of the biggest things that local businesses have going for them in their branding is where they're from, the local location that they're from. Like you think about when somebody goes to a high school, you know, one it's bigger than just them. It's I played for such and such high school. So I think when it comes to branding, a local business, a lot of times they just jump on us like, hey, here's my name, here's what I do, right? But I think even more than that, it's like putting like ideas of where they're from. Like I'm from LJ, I'm from Gwinnett, I'm from wherever. For this, or their local neighborhoods or local search terms, things like that apply to their area directly, because that kind of builds in. I feel like so far as branding, that kind of builds in like the hometown loyalty, like the hometown football team. Everybody's coming to the game because it's the hometown. So when somebody starts feeling like that, I feel like starts feeling that type of local attachment to the brand. I think that's what a lot of businesses are missing. They're like, I'm not really attaching to where I'm from. I'm not really, like for me, if I was to say, if I was giving marketing services, one of the things that I would really promote is, hey, I'm a local marketer here in Gwinnett. I'm right around the corner. I'm in your backyard. And then possibly showing some things that talk about local, or some landmarks in Gwinnett. I'm here at this local coffee shop or at this local juice bar, working on a project from such and so, or whatever. But just really incorporating that local feel with their business, is
Right,
more than just their name.
right. Well, and that makes me think about, so you may know the person because they're local, but you didn't know that they were doing this business. So it could be, it could be a surprise, right? It's like, oh, I
Right.
didn't know you were doing that, and so that you get to build that connection. And it's like, okay, so this is, you know me already, but this is what I'm doing. This is what this is my business, and then you can start kind of co-branding, right? Because they already know you as a person. So
Mhm.
you as a brand, as a person, is now kind of co-branded with the name of your company or the business that you
Mhm.
started. And so now your business can start building a brand.
It's like
So
that. It's that whole know, like, and trust, right? They, like you said, they may know who you are, but what's the reason that they like you? What's the reason that they could like you? Oh, we're from the same town. We're from the same area.
yeah,
So touch point one, or check off the box one, is we're from the same place. We're from the
nice.
same general vicinity. I know the same people. I probably work with the same people. Okay, that then know, like, trust. Okay, so you've worked with Dave, Bossy. You've worked with Dave, and you both are in LJ. So I know Dave. So now I have a reason to trust you
Yeah.
even more. So we can kind of move down the scale and kind of present how this whole local thing kind of ties into the know, like, and trust um, strategy. I mean, if you want to call it that. So yeah, man, that is something I believe they should do more of.
Right. So that's our second point of this discussion, is building trust and credibility. And so let's just talk about how that works, right? So that's YouTube is a very visual platform, right? So right now I can see you and you can see me. This is a visual platform, and we can immediately recognize someone because we can see their photo, and they also can hear, and we can speak and hear one another. And then there's the so that helps play into how YouTube can really help local businesses. Um, and I'm checking my notes here. It's the personality, and telling your brand story, and it demonstrates your expertise. So it puts you out front. So the next topic was it generates leads and drives sales. So let's talk about what that means for local businesses. How
Well,
is YouTube?
I want to say one quick thing on that
Yes,
topic you had just said about is that the authenticity. So it's going to be real important, like the wedge is even becoming further, like the gap between AI and authenticity is becoming further, and it's becoming harder to identify. So if I could say to any local businesses thinking about marketing, especially on YouTube, it's more important that you are in front of the camera. It's more important that you're not using AI generated content. It's more important because that you identify with local things and local aspects of where you are, because of the influx of AI created content, the influx. I mean, YouTube just released something just the other day where they were like, they're going to start cracking down on more on AI content that is so rapidly produced and trying to be uploaded. So this is how you can
auto
stand
generated.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can stand out by keeping your content, or actually, just get over your fear, get in front of the camera and say
Just
something.
be
Be
real.
authentic, just be real, and people will definitely, they will trust you more, like you were saying, because of the authenticity. Even the
So you've kind of steered us into the depths here, which is really really important, which is why we're doing this video. So not only can you hear and see someone through a YouTube channel through the video, but yeah, now there's a difference between, okay, just creating a video and doing the post production and putting all this time and effort and making it high quality. It's pre-recorded, but now we're moving into, okay, well, the AI can do that, or
right.
or it's just, okay, well, you added a lot of effects, so how much of that is real, right? And so when we're doing a live video like this is in real time. It's 100% authentic. There's there's no AI that's running that's changing our expressions or our tone of voice or anything. I mean, this is it. This is as authentic as we can get, is being live on YouTube.
Right. Um, yeah, I was going to say that um, dealing with that authenticity piece too is that a lot of people, a lot of businesses are thinking like, what do I, if I get on YouTube, and I'm just trying to stay in the vein of using YouTube to market, what do I do? What do I say? As I don't have anything to do, I don't have anything to say. What do I say about my business besides um, point out all the benefits of using my business, or all the benefits of shopping with me, or here's what all the benefits of my product. And basically, like, I was doing a little research here, and um, it says treating YouTube like a commercial. This is talking about like the traditional mindset of using YouTube. Many businesses or beginners in business treat YouTube like a traditional style ad, which people skip immediately. They don't create value driven, educational, or behind the scenes video that actually makes people want to watch. And so the behind the scenes is something that you could do as a business to create that authenticity, show the people that you're actually doing the stuff, and you don't have to consciously think about creating content. You literally could just, let's just use the baker, for example. You could literally turn your camera on and show you making the baked goods or whatever that you want to do. That's content showing what you're doing, but you don't have to physically think about what are my talking points, um, what do I need to do? What do I need to say, or read a script, or anything like that, right? Just show what you do. Like, just show what you're doing, and that's, people want to watch that. And that's better That's better than trying to say, hey, my business is such and such tree services. We offer this, this, and this. We'll even do this, this, and this. And if you want this and this and this, call us at this number. People skip that shit.
Okay, I'm laughing over here because I'm hearing what you're saying, and I want to pull something in. So my dad, he's 85,
Yeah.
right? So this summer, I've caught him watching YouTube on his TV. So multiple things to unpack here. One, he's on a completely different platform. More people are watching YouTube on their
Mhm.
televisions, right? Okay, so you know what he's watching?
What?
He is watching a bulldozer bulldoze dirt.
My
I
point
mean,
exactly. I know your
I
point
mean,
exactly.
you know, it's just he's sitting around, he's enjoying life, he's watching the stock market. Meanwhile, he's got the YouTube open,
Yeah.
or it's a guy, we love to fish together. So
Yeah.
maybe he's just watching this, there's a live stream coming off a bass boat somewhere, and he's just watching this guy fish with a worm in
Yeah.
real time.
Yeah.
And it's not, he's maybe he's catching some pointers or stuff, but he's just watching, he's entertained. So
Hmm.
that's kind of a little different scale, but I mean, still, for that guy, maybe he's got a guide service, a fishing guide service, right?
Yeah.
And he doesn't need to really explain anything, he just needs to do it,
Just
you
needs to
know
do it.
just needs to do it.
Yeah, it's that's that unpolished. That's what makes it authentic. Is things people don't want things polished so much anymore. They just want to get right to it. Just show me what you're doing, man. Just show me how you do it. Let me decide. It keeps me in deciding whether I want to be a part of what you're doing or not. It's not you trying to sell me or convince me. It's just let me see and let me decide. You know,
Yeah.
which is kind of a flip. I mean, you would think sometimes business owners think, or they could think, I'm the one controlling this interaction. When really you want to make the viewer think that they're still in control of their decisions. It's kind of a play on psychology there because the traditional way is, hey, let me hit you with all these benefits. The new way, I guess the modern way, quote unquote, is I'm going to make you feel like you still have the decision. I'm just going to show you what I'm doing. And it's going, if you enjoy it, you decide whether you want to work with me, whether you want to try my product or business or whatever. So, yeah, it's kind of a psychology flip there.
Yeah, so more authentic, raw, unedited, uncut, more, just more down the earth, in the whole approach in to marketing. And this is completely different. And so I'm going to kind of break here for a second and go back. And well, first, if you're just joining us, I'm David Grubb from Shepherd's Loft, the web design agency, and this is Obasi Scott. We've partnered, worked together on marketing for 25 years. So this goes way back, and I tell you that also to say that, man, when we first started, we were making videos when like YouTube was a baby. Like, I remember we in college we were editing videos at 640, 480 pixels,
Yes,
man.
yes,
Like, I mean,
yes.
that's like a not even a thumbnail these days. And so we were making videos, and then all of a sudden there came out with some technologies in order to like to mass distribute videos. So then we started making videos and we're distributing them to multiple channels. Same thing for social media. You get a picture, you get a comment, you get a thing, and you're distributing it to 10, 15, 20 different channels at one time. And it was just this mass. And Obasi used this phrase, it's the fire hose approach, right? we
Right.
we talked we talked about that one day, and so that's what we did in the beginning. Is we're just blasting our content everywhere, just for no avail.
As much as we could, as frequently, just
As
everywhere.
possible,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
Because that was in that day the strategy to get to the top of Google, to top of the search results, to have as many links and backlinks tagging your content all over everywhere as much as possible. That was it.
yeah, yeah, just saturation.
Just
Complete
saturation.
saturation.
Yeah.
So knowing that, and then we've come full circle now. And I think you mentioned something there, the SEO, getting the SEO out of that. So what does that mean for local businesses? How does SEO apply to YouTube videos?
Well, again, I'm going to go right back to the local things that are already recognized, the local city names, the neighborhoods, um, descriptions of things and tags that are local. I'm just looking over, some just references to local stuff is bigger than your business. The reference to
Yeah.
J is bigger than the reference to J tree service. So our maybe your tree service is called Scott's Tree Service, and you're a local business in J. Well, when you start referencing things in J, that pulls the viewership that they're already putting the content in front of that is interested in things in J. So you have more of a you increase your placement because you're now attaching. We used to call it riding the coattails back in multi-level marketing. So now you're
Yeah.
riding the coattails
Hotels.
of a
Yeah.
bigger name, of a bigger brand, something that more money has come into. Hey, I mean, hell,
And
people still
relevant.
do it today.
Yeah, and being relevant, right? So if there's an event or something going on,
Yeah.
you always want to be relevant to what's going on around you in the place where you are. So that's really good.
I
The
think. Hold on, let me just say this too: is that businesses, and this is something that Jenny has started doing that's really start helping her business as a local business, is doing things in the community for the community with your business. Like for instance, okay, so Jenny does she does the sound baths and the sound therapy and the alignment work and all like that. But she does a local sound bath in Gwinnett County in Lawrenceville once a month for the community, and she only charges like half price for the seats. But what that does is it gets people from the community there for a reason other than talking about business. Remember that the business is done on the golf course. The business is done at the party. The deals are made at the social event. So when somebody comes somewhere, one, they're coming to relax and to go into a meditative state. But two, there are people in the room that are not only seeing her service, she's showcasing her service, but they're also at the party. They're at a social event. And so her business is putting it on, she's sponsoring it, one, she's putting it on, putting the money up for it, in collaboration with another business like you were just talking about. So she's partnering with the I Get Juiced company or a local juice shop,
Yeah.
because they only got two here in Gwinnett, the local juice shop, to put on these sound baths with her business. Um, as an alignment designer. So I'm saying that to say, like, partnering with other companies in the community. One, okay. Two, if you can do something that's outside of talking specifically about your business, where you can show it and help the community, is going to be super beneficial to what you were just talking about.
Yeah. So you're saying super beneficial. We could also say we're adding value, right? So if we're making a
Mhm.
video that has valuable content, we're adding value to the person that's watching it. We're adding value to the community, and
Mhm.
that's giving something in advance, and that's helping also to build that like, know, and trust, sequence there. So uh, talk a little bit more about that.
So I mean, we earlier we touched on maybe taking video of um the backstage, how behind the scenes video. So one of the things that Jenny does again is that we've kind of coached her into take video of you setting up, take some B-roll. We used to call it B-roll. Take some B-roll of you setting up, take some B-roll of people kind of just mingling, take some B-roll of the actual event. So you have some things to kind of put together that forms content. And even these days, I mean, that's mindless content because you're just doing what you're doing, you know. So I think that's one of those things that and thinking about using YouTube and just some way that you're a busy business owner, you don't know how you're going to start using business, which call it to market. Well, we talked about including local relevance. Number two is start shooting behind the scenes content of what you do. Authenticity,
Yeah.
trust, right? It's literally what you're doing. So um somebody said blooper reel. Perfect. If you're not as scared to show your bloopers on,
Oh, okay, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
on camera, and you're not afraid to be like people love that shit. They laugh
People
at
will.
it, they identify with it, they relate to it. It lets them know that you're human.
I think blooper reels have become the norm. I mean, it used to be it's like you'd see the funny little outtakes at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Now that's the only thing people want to watch.
Yeah.
Let's just forget the movie.
Yeah.
Let's just watch the bloopers
Yeah.
because that's what's fun and exciting and funny, right?
Laughing feels good, man. I mean, it's literally happiness, endorphins releasing. And that, okay, so think about that from psychological. So somebody's laughing at your stuff, and even if they're laughing at you, they're associating a feel good
Yeah,
connection,
yeah,
neural connection to your business.
yeah,
They feeling good, they're laughing, they're smiling, they're happy when they're looking at your business. And that's the type of association you want to have, you want to build, you know, that feel
relationships.
good. That's what gets people addictive. I mean, some of the most addictive um content anywhere is, like you said, the stuff that makes you laugh, the stuff that makes you smile, the stuff that makes you feel happy, feels good, stories, those type of things are like people eat that shit up and they become addicted to it, you know?
Yeah. So, I think this is a real important topic. I mean, looking at it now, we'll identify it now that we've talked about it. But, people have like you said, have a really hard time figuring out, okay, what am I going to make a YouTube video about? And they put way too much thought into it instead of just turning the camera on. And so oftentimes, the good stuff is what's plain and simple. It's the obvious,
Mhm.
and that's the obvious about what you're doing is really what's the most important part and to be able to publish and broadcast. And then okay, so the next question is, how does what's the long-term effects, right? So if we're building a brand, we're looking at the long term, right? So
Mhm.
what is the life expectancy of of doing a video and building a brand and building those relationships?
Well, I would think that, I think that it's evergreen. A lot of in market we talk about evergreen, and there's two type of contents you can produce. So you got entertainment and education. Then you got a little bit of both, but the more education that you put into it, the more evergreen it becomes. So when you
Mm,
help somebody solve a problem, whether it was a solution that worked 10 years ago or a solution that works right now, and you've educated somebody on that topic, the how to do something, how can I do something, last a lot longer than the entertainment. You get entertainment stuff that goes viral and it's hot for a minute, then it dies out, you know. But when you get something where it's like educational, you're teaching somebody how to do something, you're showing them, you're telling them what to buy, you're telling them, hey, buy this mug because this mug has a little thing around the lip, so when you grab it, it fits perfectly in your hand, and it's made from whatever and was fired this way, which is better than drinking from a plastic. So you've given them information that has taught them more about being healthier, more about comfort and convenience. And so when you look at it like that, to take the business ideas that you want to put on YouTube, if you're going to do something, start thinking more evergreen. How can I become more evergreen with my content, because entertainment is good, and I think something entertaining for a business is good. I think it's a good mix in, but I think if you're going to put most of your eggs in a certain basket, I believe that the long term evergreen content is going to be the best. You know.
So I think you bring up another concept here while you're mentioning that. So the style or content, whether it's more educational. So another thing that kind of determines that dynamic is the length of the videos,
Hmm.
right? So we're seeing a move in the trends. I mean, the shorts are exploding, right?
Hmm.
But where's the real, what's more important? Is the shorts more important, or is the long format more important? So I think that's something to consider when you're thinking about education versus entertainment,
Hmm.
right? So if we're doing something longer, then you're obviously going to get more education. You're going to
Hmm.
get more information about it, and that in turn could make it a longer lasting video,
Hmm.
or it could be more of an evergreen, right?
Hmm. Like
So
the okay, so don't think of them as either or. So they work in tangent with each other. So the shorts are to get that quick pop, that quick attention. Oh, what they talking about? Blah blah blah. But I can't tell you how many shorts I've looked at, and I'm like, oh, let me go look at their Instagram page and see what else they put out. Then once I look at a couple things on the Instagram page, I'm like, okay, let me go check out the link in the bio, and whether it goes to a website or whether it goes to just whatever I want to see or I might want to buy or whatever. So it's like this trickle effect. It's like
yeah,
as quick as you can get their attention on the short, and then can you reel them back into a page where you have more content? Can you reel them back into a YouTube channel, where you have the evergreen content, the long form content, um, or the mix, so let them work in tangent. You got to do both. You've got to do long form, and you've got to do you've got to do education driven, and you've got to do entertainment side. But the entertainment side can be, you can use that for your short stuff, your Instagram reels, your YouTube shorts, your TikToks, videos, and then you can put your long form stuff on YouTube, or your educational stuff on YouTube. So, don't separate them, because they're there to work for each other. I mean, I just posted a video last week, about 4 days ago, and the video has got like 1,500 views, and thus 60 people from viewing that video subscribed to my YouTube channel. So it was a filter effect. It was like, oh, this is a cool video. He's talking about some cool stuff. And the video was only like 30 seconds,
because
15
yeah,
to 30 seconds or something, right? And they
yeah,
liked it. Then that trickled people to go to my YouTube page and view more of my content. Start to like me a little bit more. Oh, I want to follow this guy. I want to see what he's talking about. So for your business as a YouTube, think of yourself as a YouTube media company. Use your business as the subject to make content for this YouTube thing. I mean, one of the great things about YouTube is that you can get to a point where you are monetized, and you could create an additional source of income for your business
yeah,
by just making YouTube content that helps people stay on YouTube longer. So if you think about it, there's a couple different strategies, but shorts lead to the longer form content, right? Longer form content now leads to the conversion or the
yeah,
transaction, you know.
yeah. I think too oftentimes, like, and I relate this to, I've got two sons, and we're raising them up, and I think about oftentimes, like, we put this peer pressure on them, like, what are you going to do when you grow up, right? It's like,
Yeah,
okay, if you don't make this decision right now,
yeah,
you're
end of
never
the
going to
world.
make, you know. So we have all this pressure about what are we going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to what am I going to make for a video? What am I going to do?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that's really the wrong question. The question we need to be asking is, how can I help somebody?
Mhm.
And what format is that going to be best suited in? And, do I do need to do a live? I knew that if I'm going to help local businesses in North Georgia, right, in LJ and
Mhm.
surrounding cities, that I can do a live video and talk to Obasi, who's been doing marketing with me for 25 years, that this conversation might be on a live video might be the best way that that I can help them.
Mhm.
Instead of us sitting and booking a studio and spending money and pre-recording and
Right.
editing and posting. I mean, you might not get this information for months or years down the road, right?
Right. Yeah.
But here we are. We can do this live video and we can talk about how powerful YouTube is for local businesses, and
Mhm.
it's quick and easy. We've been on for about 30 minutes and we've covered some great topics, and on how powerful YouTube can be for local businesses. So, I mean, that's all I got for today. Abasi, you got any final thoughts?
I think that like, just to reiterate kind of what we deal with, number one is use more relative local references in your stuff. Short form, think about using short form more for the entertainment factor, and think about it as as something that helps get people to your YouTube channel for your more educational stuff. And guys, look, I'm just gonna say this and I'm gonna be done, but there is so much simple stuff that you can talk for 3 or 4 minutes about, or 5 minutes about, but you can talk on a video on YouTube, and before you know it, you've talked for 8 or 10 minutes. That's considered long form content. That's considered long. I mean, you can take a million different things. You could put your business in Chat GPT and say, give me a list of 20 things that I could talk about, 20 simple topics that I could talk about. And then you could go through and you could say, yep, I've done that. And I could talk about that. I've done that. I could talk about that. I've done that. And before you know it, you got a list of 10 or 15 things that are simple that you've already done. You feel confident in that you could just talk about, in a 5, 10 minute video, and call it and post it. You could do a live and cut it and post it. No editing. It's up. It's your information. It's authentic. You're talking to the camera and you've got something on YouTube. That's just how simple it is. So
Yeah.
don't let it scare you. Don't overcomplicate it like Dave was saying.
Well,
It's
and I
really.
think also it's real important to mention that sometimes, again, it's the obvious, right? And just because somebody else already said it, you didn't say it.
Right.
Right? So so your audience wants to hear, your opinion on that matter. So and
Mhm.
so said that this was a good idea. So voice your opinion, right?
Mhm.
Do you, I think this is a great, I heard it from so and so. That's okay.
Mhm.
So and so
Mhm.
said this. And actually that's one of the best ways to build influence, right? And
Mhm.
credibility is to say, well, so and so said this, and you're quoting somebody else. I mean,
Mhm.
so it's not always just about you, and you're trying to help people, and an easy way to do that. And so take the time,
Mhm.
and it's okay to say those things because your audience is different,
It
and
is.
it's yours, and so it's everything is always repeatable. I think in that, if we have the fear of, okay, well, I'm not going to say, somebody's already done a video of like how to fix this widget. I mean,
Mhm.
but you could also make that video as well because you have your own audience and you have the people that are trusting you. They want to know if that's the way you would do it.
Mhm.
So it's still important to make that effort, and it's a great
How many
and you're
people
helping
have done
people.
this exact same video? How
Well,
to
I don't
help
know.
YouTuber, how to help local businesses market on YouTube. If you put that in, there's probably millions of results. But I guarantee you that the people that watch this video, they're going to connect with how we talked about it. They're going to connect with the
Yeah,
things that we talked about. And they could have heard it a million other times. But as soon as you said something or I said something on this video, there's like, boom, light bulb moment. That's it. That's what I need to do. He put it in a
yeah.
way that makes me understand it's simple enough for me to execute. And that's what we want to accomplish.
Awesome. High five. All right. Thanks for joining us today, Obasi. This is
Yep.
Shepherd's Loft.
Thank you.
You can subscribe to our channel. We have a few free tools on the website. You can get a free fix it card and also a free website analysis. So you can visit shepherdsloft.com. Check that out. Thank you so much for joining today, and I hope to talk to you soon.
Deuces.